It's time for the Cowboy Judge Show. I say that because we've got like a celebrity in the building right here.
Yes, yeah, and I kind of thought I had something in common with them, sort of. Nobody knows my past life as a realtor. My name was Michael E. Because my dad's name was Mike Carter, just like my name. Yeah, I didn't do it. I didn't do anything.
My name is Mike E.
No, it was Michael E. And I still have business cards left with it. And this is Willie J, right?
Willie J.
Now, I've got a little bit more of a
Great
story
to be
behind
here.
mine, but how did you get your Willie J? Where'd that come from?
Man, it happened in Atlanta, Georgia, about 15 years ago, and I was serving a bunch of Grammy Stellar Award winners backstage. I was,
Oh, yeah.
and I had a name tag, and it said Willie J.
Okay.
And an artist by the name of actually Kirk Franklin or whatever.
Oh,
okay?
really?
Big name, right? And he said, I like that, Willie J. So from that point on, I kept it.
Here it is today.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So he
Tell us-
co-signed it, so it was official after
Yeah,
that.
right. It always helps if you got a little oomph behind it. That's for sure. So what do you got? What's Willie J been doing? To come to the success and stuff that you've got today. And we'll learn a little bit more about it. What's going on with you right now?
Oh man, we're pushing this narrative of Pure Mission Entertainment. I'm a CEO slash published author, musician of 3 instruments, and we have a good roster of talent that we're pushing as well beyond myself. Which is Arthur Flash Johnson, 4-time world boxing champ.
Oh, wow.
Recent NAACP award winner.
Okay.
You can find him on the record, Sunshine with the Rain and We Love You, Puerto Rico. Then we got the phenomenal Crystal Haywood. And she's done work with the Black Eyed Peas, background vocals, and you'll hear her on that record as well. We Love You, Puerto Rico as well. And we've just been pushing it, man. Just trying to stay, focused with all the high pressure that's going on.
Right.
Taking the URE off of pressure, and what do you have? Press.
Right. Yeah, that's
Gotta
true.
press
There you
forward,
go.
man.
And that's the name. That's been my narrative. Turning pain to gain. Losing a lot of loved ones. Career started taking off after my mom passed of breast cancer in 2006.
Oh, okay.
Got signed to Ingram Books and Publish America after that. So just been trying to stay focused. And a year later, I lost my grandmother to the same thing, breast cancer, 1 year apart, me and my dad's mom. So it's been a journey. It's been a journey, but my godmother, rest in heaven, she was another one. She told me to enjoy the journey, me and my buddy Theo. He's a part of the company. And she said, enjoy the journey, whatever you do. We were in Berkeley, School of Music, we're musicians. We music lovers over here.
Yeah, buddy.
But we want to go beyond the music. We create hope through arts and entertainment. So I figured, coming from where I come from, East St. Louis, Washington Park, I've seen a lot of things. We witnessed someone getting shot in the face at 7, 8 years old. So I made up in my mind at that point that the only way I'm gonna get out of here is to use my gifts. So I'm just kind of sharing the medicine, so to speak,
Yeah.
with the world.
And this sounds right up your alley, Mr. Cardinal Cowboy. Everything you ever talk about, and we've talked about your coma and coming out of it, and being blessed to pull the ventilator out, or whatever it was, and you guys got a lot in common because you know what it's like to be like, I'm gonna do something, I'm still here or whatever, right?
Yeah, I mean, you feel like a certain sense of responsibility after you've come through something like that, and coming from a background where a lot of people say it's not ideal, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, that's where Willie and I kind of connected. It's Aaron Emig in the Bob Emig Foundation.
Yes, sir.
And I got that award for helping youth sports that I was nominated for, and then by State Rep Chrissy Summers. And so then, Chrissy?
Yeah.
And
That's awesome.
And really got into just now was a real opportunity to go out and dig into the way you can impact people, when you go through a coma. And being introduced to Willie, they came to me and said, hey man, this is what we're working on. How can we make this bigger and better? And with all the internet stuff and marketing, so we're working together on that. Willie was on the Cowboy show, Cardinal Cowboy show a couple weeks ago. We did a live stream, got thousands of people watching that. Really got the message out. But we just, you're right, it's this narrative that we both had that we said, hey man, we can really impact and affect a lot of lives because so many people, they just kind of get stuck, right? And they don't know where to go and they don't have anybody really pointing them in the right direction. Right. Some of us do, but a lot don't. And so then we say, hey man, it's not that tough. You can go do it. And so that's what your website is all about. Pure
about
Mission,
hope. Yeah.
ENT, Pure Mission Entertainment, PureMissionENT.com.
That's it.
And it's a beautiful website. And
Thank you.
I know the guys are doing that
Appreciate
for you.
that.
They're doing a great job. And literally,
You guys are awesome,
you are
man.
on a mission, man. And
Man,
you've
we're
done
on a
some
mission.
amazing things too. And so
humble,
talk
man.
about how did you get into, what was the evolution into Pure Mission Entertainment and where that came from and some of the people you've worked with. I mean, I know you've been on the same floor with, I think you said Nelly was in the building and you guys were recording together. Or,
Yeah, that was in
not together.
That was in
but-
Hollywood when we. Shouts out to Willie Jr. He was his artist name was Pretty Willie Suella at the time.
Okay.
And they were under the same label at that time, and we had the pleasure of, connecting with him and producing some regional number ones, and then it landed in the Johnson Family Vacation, and we worked with him, and I started a lot behind the scenes. I was still doing my thing underground out front, but doing a lot of production work with him, and landed in movies with Cedric Entertainer, Lil Bow Wow, Steve Harvey.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But let's go back to my buddy Aaron Emick.
Right.
That's my right hand man. He's my president, and teamwork makes the dream work.
Sure.
Okay. And he came with me actually with this idea called "We Got Your Back, Puerto Rico," concerning Hurricane Mariah. But before that, I told him about a vision that we had. We met off of "In the Morning," which is that last song, dedicated to coronavirus. I said, I got this vision, man. I said, it comes from like Matthew 5:8. I'm like, I'm spiritual, but I'm not a really religious, but it's a blessed or the pure in heart, they'll see God, right? Mm-hmm. So I figured, hey, I'm on a mission, so not that we're perfect, but let's make sure our motives are, right for what we're doing it for. So he liked the idea. It's been on ever since. I met him by way of Uber a few years ago.
Wow. That's
So
amazing.
don't ever discredit Uber.
Well, you just never know when you're going to meet somebody, and you
I'm
better
telling
be
you, I
nice
found
to everybody.
Artists there, movie directors, and it's been a great process, and it's a good partnership that we have with Bob Emick. I talked to him, and I found out he was working with youth, transforming youth through sports. I say, hey, I'm doing something similar, but we're doing it through arts and entertainment. So we say, hey, man, why don't we just come together? And he heard the "In the Morning." This was before the "We Love You, Puerto Rico" song, and it hooked him. And we were hooked ever since. A series of mastermind sessions, getting together, dialoguing, and just sharpening iron, man, and making it. We want a company that goes beyond just music. Music is just more the niche, right now. But we got authors, models, dancers, actors,
say some
movie
actors.
directors,
Sure.
Yeah, so, but right now we're dealing with the music aspect, and PME could not function properly without my right-hand man, Aaron Emick of the Bob Emick Foundation. And it was an honor. We had like-minded vision. I learned it's important to be around like-minded people with like energy, right?
Sure.
And we took advantage of the moment. And I like to say this, I told you about pressure, but moments and momentum go hand in hand. If you take the UM off of momentum, what do you have? Moment. So what we do, we take advantage of each moment, because if you deal with each moment properly, the next moment you'll have the proper momentum. And
Moments
velocity.
lead to momentum. That's
Moments
key.
lead to momentum. And that's really what we're doing at PME. Every moment we're trying to maximize it and make the best of it. And months later you see like, oh, whoa, that moment led to this momentum.
So
Here.
Pure Mission Entertainment is, I'm guessing, St. Louis based for the most part, St. Louis Metro?
618, yeah.
Okay.
618/St. Louis.
Right,
So,
yeah,
it's
Metro
pretty much
area.
the same, yeah, it's still
But
the
it's
same
hard-
thing.
my brother has got a couple albums he dropped, and I don't know if you even call them albums anymore, but starting from 02, 07, 09, he's kind of moved back into just regular life, and that does kind of gave up some of that.
Yeah.
But he still does. He's been on Z107 for 10, 15 years. He does
Oh,
a
wow.
commercial
Oh, wow.
for a place that we run as a family for a long time. But
wow.
the St. Louis, I've been to places. You guys were mentioning Nelly.
awesome.
Everybody says they know Nelly, right? But I've been to little concerts that they did. My brother was first, and then Nelly wrapped it up, and that kind of thing. But it's St. Louis, like Seattle was to grunge back in the 90s. St. Louis has never gotten there, right? It's had a
Right.
couple stars come out of here.
Yeah.
Bob Costas,
Yeah.
Nelly, Tina
Yeah.
Turner. We know all the names.
John
but
Hamm,
it's-
John Goodman.
Dave
But
Welkel now, that's the fusion musician, or he's the
Is it?
icon. Dave Welkel, the drummer.
But is it hard?
Shouts
I mean,
out, he's from here.
Is it hard to, you said you were in Hollywood, a couple months ago, years ago, whatever. That's the petri dish of this stuff. In St.
Yeah.
Louis, is it hard, or can you just
Yeah.
big fish, small pond? Can you dominate here in St. Louis, or what's the drive, or is it
That's
hard?
a great question. I think that's what's unique about our situation at PME is that we didn't have to actually relocate for these things to start happening. 2 million views on plays on SoundCloud. Usually people,
Now, we got that up on the wall here. 2
Oh, wow.
million plays. I mean, it's part of that graphic there, I think.
Oh, wow.
But when you've hit 2 million plays,
Wow, let me put
You,
my glasses on.
see-
Oh, wow.
the future's still bright, right? But
Yeah.
literally, I mean, when you're doing that kind of stuff, that's where I'm going. And to follow up on Mike's question, what does it take?
Yeah.
Is it a lot easier now because the interwebs, right? We got Al Gore saved us here, and we got the option now to connect much more readily, and people are more
Yeah.
easily found. And you see these YouTube superstars that come out of nowhere. People have given me grief. They're like, Cowboy, you've been doing this for 15 years. Why aren't you already in Hollywood? And I'm like, I watch these kids come on, and
You're
6
doing it.
months later, 6 months later, they got 2 million
Yeah.
followers and views and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But along that line, is it more important to have that impact, or is it more important? Do they coincide? You've got to get the celebrity that helps you to gain the impact. What's your method to help these people who want to become, and for those who don't make it, right? There's a large percentage that aren't going to make it big. Are they going to end up being fulfilled now because they're really being able to contribute to something that makes them happy? And that's what you and I talk about.
Yeah, it is something. Yeah, that's a great question, Carter. I say it starts with love and grinding. We could say grind all the way, but I believe in the spiritual law of attraction. On your way up, you got to help people too. See, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Hating never gets you anywhere. I think we went over this. He that love his brother. If I love my brother, I walk in light. If I show hate to my brother or sister, I stumble when an occasion comes or arises. I fall. So what I do privately, behind the scenes, a lot of people don't know. There's been many of other artists and entertainers, who have helped out. They don't have to give me the credit. That's cool. I don't mind pushing other people above myself. So that's what I would want to convey to other artists. Keep the bigger than me mentality and get rid of the it's all about me mentality. And if you help somebody else live their dream, you'll find yourself living your dream. And it's just the way it goes. Yeah. And grinding and having a team. I have a great team from here to New York to LA, and that's probably why I don't have to necessarily move out there, because they're already out there, and we're able, with technology, you can create masterpieces and be in different demographics,
Yeah.
So that's the beauty of technology. And I would say this, man, I always put God first and try to help, servitude, man. That's big. That's big. Have a purpose, have a purpose. Show that love, And some people are afraid to show love, Carter, because sometimes they feel like they won't get it back from that source. But like we said on the show, you'll get it back, but maybe from another different demographic or another person. The universe is always going to reward you.
Yeah, you put it out into the universe. I
And,
think
yeah,
the judge
work
talks
hard
about
and
is
keep
it
that
Zig
good
Ziglar?
energy.
Is it Zig Ziglar says, if you want to be successful, the secret is help as many people as you can.
Yeah.
Effectively.
Yeah, I mean, ours is a little
that's it.
different. First of all, I've always heard, be hearty with your praise and lavish with your approbation, which is right along those lines, And then I've also heard that the world, luckily the way things work, and Willie J was saying this exactly, is that, if you feel better when you do good things for people on a regular basis, the feedback is, we just know that's great.
Yeah.
And they say, wouldn't it be a horrible place if the opposite was true? Every time you screwed somebody over,
Right.
you felt good.
Right,
That
right.
wouldn't be the way to, so just naturally good. It works kind of out that way,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And effectively, that's the way God made it. We talk about this
the
on the
way
show.
He made it.
You help people,
Yeah.
things go your way. I don't understand the
It's the
strategy
way
when
it
people
is.
take advantage in business situations or life situations or promotions or
Yeah.
even on the sports field.
Yeah.
Do what's best for the greater good. And
greater
that sounds
good.
corny,
Yeah.
but it's
It's not
legitimate.
corny.
It's like that's the system. That we're
good
giving
stuff.
you the key that
Yeah.
we've learned from the guidance that we've been fortunate to have from our mentors that say, hey, the more you do, the more you're gonna, and it just creates that happiness, like you're talking about.
Does.
And that's what ultimately it's about. That's why I say,
Yeah.
how many of these people are going to end up being world famous, multi-million, multi-platinum? And I hang out with J.E. and I got to hang out with Nelly.
South
got
side.
to hang out with me at the Ritz-Carlton.
Oh, wow.
That was Nelly got to hang out with me.
Yeah, I get it.
Right. but I mean,
Somebody,
how big
Carter.
does that get? And how important is that? That doesn't ensure happiness.
You're right.
The happiness
It
comes
doesn't.
from helping people, and the money
That's right.
makes it more difficult.
That's
a lot of
right.
times.
That's
So-
right. And I think it's important. Don't seek fame. Don't seek to be, the big dog. Or just be genuine and try to be the best at your craft, and empower somebody. If it's just one life, that's worth. The music is worth it.
Yeah.
And I think in return, God gave me more than what I was expecting.
Well, and you're one of the things
know
we're
what I mean?
talking about. You've got two things going on right now where you are helping others, way beyond yourself.
right.
And this Puerto Rico song that we're talking about, which you can shed some light on, and then also
on.
this new morning, if I'm hearing you right, about
In the morning?
in the
Yeah.
morning with the coronavirus things that is debilitating a lot of different segments of the population. So what's the Puerto Rico one first? Am I allowed to ask about that?
Yeah, let's talk about the Puerto Rico
What's the
song.
song?
That's the one.
What's the interest in Puerto Rico? Like, 51st state they call it. If you ever, So
back to my brother Aaron Emmett of the Bible Emmett Foundation and now PME. He brought this to me and he said, "Hey man," he said, "Did you hear about that Hurricane Maria?" And we were downtown Collinsville at the time, Illinois. And
Let's go ahead and play "We
Yeah.
Love Puerto Rico" for our audience here. We'll click the play button here.
thank you.
What do you think about "We Love You, Puerto Rico"?
Oh, yo, I like it. Let's roll with that.
So you're the team leader will take care of that?
Say no more. Got you. Yeah.
Got to hold on,
Hold on. This song is dedicated to
got to hold on,
Puerto Rico. We feel your pain.
got to hold on,
I know you thought we forgot about you. This little
got to
song,
hold on.
we came together to tell you this.
See, there are some things that we will never understand. Weakness seems as if you're sinking deeply in the sand. But just moving through it all. There's a master plan. And when you can't stand tall, just take our hand. Together we can stand. We love you, Puerto Rico. Hold on. We love you, just be strong. Don't you let go.
Got to hold on, got to hold on.
Now that's a pretty powerful video. I mean that says a lot.
Appreciate that.
That
And
literally.
you said it was really hard to make. Oh, man. I mean, and yet it's here, and you just kept going.
Yeah.
That means that whoever you had, the team earlier you're talking about,
Yeah.
that you've put together, the ensemble you got, they have to be along for the ride. You said
Yes.
teamwork makes the dream work.
Dream work,
And if
yes.
you can't be the only guy
No.
pulling it off, so
No.
it must have been something that everybody thought was worth doing. And
Yeah.
the final product that's got 2 million, or is it
excited.
climbing beyond that? And you say SoundCloud is where most of it's?
SoundCloud is Sunshine with the Rain. That's going to
Okay,
be the title
wrong one.
album. And it has 2 million hits.
Yeah, this
And,
video's
And this was
200,000.
this was close to like 250,000 right now.
Yeah.
And
And
it
anytime
hasn't
you-
been out long. It hasn't
Yeah.
been out long.
And you just look at the production quality and the overall scheme. I mean, you guys,
Thank you.
I mean, I've seen productions from all the best because we watch them on YouTube and wherever.
You've been around.
I mean, you're on it, man. And
Thank
so
you.
it's just
Appreciate
now, are you going to hit the multi-platinum level?
That's next.
And you're on your
That's
way.
next.
I mean,
That's next.
And does it go back to the reason this is happening? You think? Like I said, there's something I've never talked to anybody about, but publicly.
Are you sure you want to?
Well, certain couple friends. But when I started, and I mentioned it
Yeah.
casually, but when I started doing this Cardinal Cowboy thing, my gut immediately sprung to, if I'm just running around having fun, my mom is going to kill me, right?
Yeah.
This has got to have
Yeah.
a message. There's got to be something behind
It's
this
gotta be.
that's more than just trying to,
Yeah.
be entertaining or whatever.
That's right.
You've got to do something productive. So I immediately branched over to, I'm gonna talk about my message, how I came through my coma, and what I overcame with the doctors, 1 out of 100 odds. So do you think there's that combination? Is the good mojo going your way? Because and is that the impact? And so now you've got 200,000 here, and then we've got the other video, and we can get to that one here in just a minute, in the morning.
Yeah.
And Aaron just sent that to me, and I'm like, did
Yeah,
MTV pick you guys up? I mean,
just last night we finished.
This video was produced like
thank you.
as
I
good as you will
appreciate
see done in any
Thank you
production.
so much. It's a lot of sentimental value behind this video. As we said earlier, my best friend Terry passed. He's on the hook with me. Didn't get to see this day, you know, but he's looking from above, and then we lost a friend that's in the video. My partner Theo. We talked about him in another show. MD Productions, they're based out of LA. 2 of us down here. They're behind the We Love You Puerto Rico production with me as well. I forgot to mention them. Shouts out to my boys out there. And they lost an auntie to COVID-19. So that's what this song is about. And she's in this video actually, and he's in this video. So, and there's some good stuff in here too, you know, the happy side. So we want to bring hope to people and tell them don't fear. I know it's rough right now. You know, I want to encourage people that.
Well, and before we play it here real quick, I like to give people the kind of the message I got. I got the opportunity to interview. We're talking the original 2 rap guys.
Run DMC?
Run DMC, right? DMC.
I grew up off Run DMC.
Daryl McDaniels. Daryl McDaniels is sitting across from me, and I got to say to him,
crazy.
So Daryl, this is what this song means to me.
Wow.
And he goes, and it's tough. Life is difficult. It's tricky. This song hit me, and essentially saw the video late last night. I'm like, this is a matter of don't fret about the urgency, what you've got right now.
That's
the
it.
crisis that's on you right now.
That's it.
In the morning, things are going to be better. Things will be
gonna
different.
be all right.
Make it another day. Is that what the message is?
That's the message. Hope. That's it. Carter, you said it perfectly. And I think it's important to say don't fear because it weakens the immune system medically. If you look that up, fear weakens your immunity. It makes you more susceptible and prone to catch something, you know, similar as a COVID-19. So I would say keep your faith up, you know, keep your faith up and trust God, man. We're going to get through this together.
Well, let's give a quick listen to this. This is an awesome video.
And what's the name of it again?
In the morning.
Willie J, In the Morning.
Hey, Willie, you know, with this worldwide pandemic going on, don't you think we need to bring some hope?
Already, man, you know that's what we do at PME, man. We create hope through arts and entertainment, man. I think I got something for you, bro.
All right, let's
I know
do
I
it.
got something for you.
Let's do this.
Yeah, and the morning's gonna be alright. I'm telling you. The end of the tunnel, there's light. Let's go. Through the storm, through the rain, through the hurt, through the pain. You can make it, I can make it. We gon' make it. In the morning, it's alright. In the morning, yes, alright. Let's go. Through the storm, through the rain, through the hurt, through the pain, through the guilt, then through the shame. When it's kinda hard to explain, don't you worry, don't you fret, cause it's really not over yet. Keep on holding on to the end, cause only the strong survive and win. Yeah, and when they try to hold you back, don't let up. And when they try to knock you down, just get up. Just get up. And when they try to keep you from winning, tell them all we do is win, win, win. Just keep on winning, yeah. Don't you dare throw in the towel. Even through the trouble, gotta smile. Gotta keep a smile for the extra mile, for the extra mile. Yeah. Resting like it's the tigers and bears, oh my. Yeah. Gotta keep your faith elevated up to the sky. Yeah. Keep it real, never tell a lie. Even though the family gotta die. Never knowing why, never knowing why. Oh, why you why? Yeah. But we can only endure for us. Like the joy's gonna come in the morning time. Yeah. Through the storm, through the rain, through the hurt, through the pain. You can make it, I can make it. We gon' make it. In the morning, it's alright.
Now that Willie, there you go. Mike, was that? I mean,
You were talking about production value and stuff like that. It's just, had we not, had Willie J here with us, whenever you're in the presence of, folks that are doing and making and creating, it just, you're like, oh, you're a regular guy, whatever. But when you check something out like this and it's you're like, I'm with this guy's here who did this. You know, it just really kind of gives you a different feeling about it, you know?
Yeah, no doubt. I'm humbled by it, man. I try not to pay attention too much to numbers and stats. That's why when I look back, I'm like, whoa, you know, because we're so engulfed in grinding on to the next thing and the next.
And that brings me to 2 points that you and I've talked about, and Judge and I, we talk about this on the show too, but that is, number one, anyone can accomplish something if they're willing to go after it.
That's it.
You got to go with your skill set. You got to
That's
do,
it.
and those skills I think are developed as a kid. I was talking to went down to see Mom and Dad again last night. I talked about why was I such a good infielder, and that was because I took 5,000 ground balls when the rest of the neighborhood kids were, running around the
good
neighborhood.
stuff.
Jumping
Good stuff.
dirt bikes and stuff, and that's just what I think if any, I apply that to my life now, and I just go, I'm going to work at this so hard, so deep. That's what it takes. You got to have the skill, you got to have the raw talent, but I think there's more to be made up by the effort and the hard work. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Hard work, dedication. I teach that to my daughter. You know, work smart, but you still have to work hard. Some people think work smart means be lazy. No, you work hard. I tell them, we didn't get here overnight. Anything worth having in life takes time. And you want your foundation to be solid so that when the wind comes up against it and blows and the tornadoes and the storms come, you're stationary, you're built up on something solid. So we take our time, diligence.
And then back to this thing we've been saying is the good feeling you get is more valuable because the money can come and go.
Yeah.
We just had a recent tragedy in my family, and you talk about the impact, and this guy had done very well and had a lot of money, and he gave most of it away. And so it's just really, that's really what it's about,
awesome.
is to help people
That's it.
and help them get through, because we're all in this struggle together, and some people, they've got the money, but they don't have the other resources, the humility, the positivity. And I think that positive, Judge, do you agree that the positive, it's what Willie was saying, that positive perspective is what carries you. It's what gives you that, it's a physical thing that affects your body and your immune system. That if you are negative and finding problems with everything, your body's just like, okay, we got to get in defense mode. And you can't progress while you're in defense, right?
That's it.
And so unless you can do an interception and turn around the other way, but that doesn't happen very often. But you have to literally put that focus on so strong towards that positive, because it impacts exactly what you're trying to accomplish. And if you're focused on it, that's what happens. It's whatever you focus on grows.
Well, I think a lot of what
That's
Willie
it.
J
That's
said
good
earlier,
stuff.
I think you said 4 or 5 times, hope is, everybody at every level can have hope for something. I hope I'm leaving this job. I hope that I can afford this car and if you can see just a little pinhole of light that it might happen, in a week, 10 years, 5 years, whatever it is, I think that can have a massive impact on positivity, right? We can all act like and think, they say fake it till you make it. There's some truth to that, right? But somebody's gotta have just this little speckle of hope in order to have genuine positivity. Because if you know that the end is bleak, it'd be hard to be super positive if I knew I was getting hit by a bus in a couple. Maybe I would, maybe more positive. But hope just seems like such a factor to me,
Yeah, it is.
Well, and it's the key to life, I believe. And I get to meet some pretty cool people. And it's just like the flow comes together. That's why I keep running into people like yourself, Willie.
Likewise.
What's next, man? Where's this going? What's your long-term goal? Tell me what Pure Mission Entertainment, what's the long-term perspective? We got 30 seconds left.
Sharing the blueprint, giving back the blueprint.
It's a lot of grunt work.
It's a lot of work.
But you're right. Thank you, Willie J from Michael E.
Hey, thank you for having me. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah.
And everybody be resilient. That resilience is brilliance is what we say in PMA.
Yeah, we need
Bounce
it.
back.
Bounce back.
Bounce
You
back.
never know how
Bounce
close
back.
you actually are to being there. Just
Bounce
keep
back.
going, and
That's
you
it.
might find yourself there.
There you go. Amen.
Ladies and gentlemen, you've been listening to the Cowboy Judge Show.
Giddy up.